So I'm going to show you 3 beginner golf swing basics. It's going to help you play your best golf straight away. These are tried and tested systems I use with all my students who are starting the game. Straight into it, let's talk grip. If you want to get control of the club face, you've got to have some control of how you put your hands on the club. Easiest way to establish your grip. Place the club out in front of you, parallel to the ground. You want the face pointing straight up at the sky. So the leading edge, the front edge here, pointing straight up to the sky. Then what I want you to do is put your lead hand out in front of you, palm stretched, pointing straight forwards. Align the club up with this part of your hand and palm, not up here. So it's basically going diagonally through the middle or the base of your palm or top of your fingers. From this position, grab on, bring the club back down to the ball. For most of you, this is going to make the lead arm feel very twisted. It's going to make this hand feel very twisted, and it puts the thumb on the center right of the grip. Now, if you're a new golfer who always struggles with the ball going off to the right, I don't mind with this start position if you turn the face a few degrees away from you. So the club is kind of pointing straight up this way slightly as you do the same thing. This will give you a slightly stronger grip. And what you're going to notice is that your back of your lead hand and your arm, there's an angle in here. This is what you need. Too many people try to get this all lined up and straight, causes weak grips. Weak shots off to the right. Show your hand, you could just get the little finger and the first finger on your gloved hand or your lead hand just to interlock with each other. And then we want the club going diagonally now through the trail hand, more through the middle of your fingers as the right hand wraps on top. Cover this thumb up with the fleshy meaty pad of your trail hand, and there is your nice hold. From this position, everything else now we talk about is going to really assist with straighter and more consistent shots. You can use these ideas for your irons and longer clubs, hybrids, drivers, freewoods, whatever. Now there's loads more to the setup, and I've got plenty of videos on full setup if you want to go more deeper into it. But remember, these 3 points, if you do these, you're going to hit a lot of good shots. One was grip. Number 2 is what we call wrist angles. So the angles your wrists move around your body. And forearm rotation, so how you rotate your arms. In a golf swing, we need forearm rotation. The club should be rotating as your forearms rotate. At the same time, we need to have some level of control of how much this wrist here is bending this way or going this way or staying in the position it started in. Now this drill's so simple. Hold just with your lead hand at the bottom of the grip. Now with the club just hovering above the ball, I want you on a backswing to try and make sure you get the butt end of the club pointing down at the golf ball. And then on the follow through, I want you to feel like the butt end of the club points down towards the golf ball. What this is going to do is get you to use a little bit of release with your wrists. So that's going to get the club face working for you to try and stop the ball going off to the right. Now if I don't use forearm rotation, this club's pointing kind of down at my feet, and as I come through, even if I hinge it up, it's kind of pointing off over here, but my left pocket. If you put forearm rotation in, you're going to get this club pointing back behind you, back in front of you, back behind you. Then if you just tilt down to an angle which is pointing at the ball with your chest, you're going to get the club pointing down towards the ball, down towards the ball, down towards the ball, down towards the ball. Now I use these ideas with my son who started golf about 10 months ago. He's already breaking 80, trying to understand or get him to understand just simply club face control with some good grip dynamics, as well as the last tip which we're coming to. Remember, if you like the video, hit the subscribe button, loads of free videos. Also hit the like button down there, it really helps the video out. Now there's a little twist to this forearm rotation idea. You've also got to try and get the wrist working with it. So 2 ways of doing this. I want you to go point the butt end of the club at the ball, but see my Strixon pad and my glove here, turn that away. So simultaneously turn that away as you point this down, and then as you come through, pointing this down at the ball, I'm going to get my back of my Strixon pad here pointing this way out in front of me. And what this is doing is massively manipulating the club face. So it's in this instance, if I turn this pad away from me, it's what people would call close or taking loft off of the club. If I do that too much, the ball goes a long way left. But then do the same feeling, holding down the grip, butt end of the club towards the target, turn the Strixon pad back towards you, and then on the way through, really turn that Strixon pad so I can see it. What this will do is massively open the club face. So if you were to make swings this way, with your wrists moving that way and the forearm rotation, you can see it leaks off to the right. If you're someone who leaks the ball off to the right, you need to add in more of this pad turning away from you as you rotate the arms. And if you're someone who loses the ball too far to the left, you would need to add or maintain a bit of that angle that we put in at the start. This was one of the best tips that I gave for my learning son to play, because it gave him the toolkit to go out there and practice and react to days where he hit big blocks, to days when he hit big hooks. He self-discovered which is the best way of learning. This gives you great ideas of forearm rotation, where that pad is pointing, gives you great ideas of where the face is as the forearm rotates. Then in your practice swing, you can use those two feelings to find your sweet spot for that center strike. Now the last tip, super simple, but so effective, and it's going to give you good consistency of strike. And it's about tilts as you turn with your body. Beginner golfers often hear the word turn. They understand you've got to turn in the golf swing, but they don't really understand that often that they need to tilt. Hence they hit horrible tops. I should have caught that, would have been fun. Because they can't get the club down to the ground. Where what we see from world-class players and better ball strikers is they are turning, but they're adding tilt. So for instance, I'm going to turn my lead shoulder down, point it at the ball. Then on the way through, I get this feeling of my trail shoulder pointing down at the ball on the way through. And that's the simple thought for so many of you that's going to help you hit straighter. So this will control path of the club as well as low point. Make some swings where on the backswing, you feel like you point this shoulder down. So from my perspective, it's kind of pointing down towards the ball. It's obviously not. My shoulders are pointing off over here somewhere from that camera. But if I was to turn this way, this shoulder's literally covering that ball. And if I was to over tilt, this shoulder's now kind of pointing down towards my knee. So that middle ground is point the lead shoulder down towards the ball. And then on the way through, hit the ball with your trail shoulder. Get that going down towards the ball. Even to the point where at the end, so at the end of your swing, feel like you literally are staying down with this shoulder lower. Because what that's going to do is it's really going to help you throw that club towards the ground. It's going to get you turning nicely with your hips and putting that tilt in that will get that great low point control. And those straighter shots. Here I've got this shoulder lower than this one. The amount of amateurs we see come up and they kind of reverse that, because they're trying to add this in, or they're only thinking of turning. Do these three things, your golf will improve, I promise you. Now, if you want to find out how far you should be hitting your 7-iron as a new golfer as your handicap changes, check this video out. If you want more free golf videos, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button down there. Bang, subscribed.